We've all received electronic invitations to parties and events, and opening them can be pretty exciting, but a preschool teacher's story should put us all on alert now.
Azalea Iñiguez joins us in studio right now with more on her story. Azalea.
It's pretty scary. Pay attention, because you know that I stay on top of all kinds of scams, but I have to say this one variation was surprising even to me. Scammers have found yet another way to get into our lives and steal our data and money, and it all starts with what looks like an innocent invitation. Let's pay close attention.
A special celebration, a beautiful moment. We humbly request your presence. Words that are hard to resist, especially when they come from someone close to you.
I checked my email and it looked like I had an invitation from a friend who normally throws fundraisers and galas.
So she didn't think twice about it.
I clicked to open it and it asks, do I want to open with Gmail, Yahoo, Apple? It gives all those options.
She selected Gmail.
I enter my password and it goes into a multi-factor authorization or authentication, and it asks me to confirm on another phone.
She says she used her work phone, but then
it didn't go anywhere else. The screen went blank.
Within hours, she was flooded with messages from people asking if she had invited them to a party.
And I was like, oh, it must have been a scam.
She warned all her contacts not to respond to the invitation and to change their email passwords. And she thought that was the end of it.
So on Wednesday, I logged into my bank account and I noticed that the balance was lower than it should have been. And so I looked at my transaction history and it had 3 relatively small transactions, but they totaled $5,500.
I will ask people to go to a page and will ask the people to authenticate, to put their credentials on the page, username and password. But because the page is fake, any information we put in there will be stolen by the cyber criminals.
Dr. Pablo Molina, a cybersecurity expert, explained what appears to have happened to Alexis and what to do if you go through something like this.
The most important part, particularly if any of our money or credit card transactions are at risk, is to contact our financial institutions.
That's what Alexis did, and fortunately, her bank has returned almost all of her money. Dr. Molina emphasizes that now more than ever, we cannot open a link without thinking carefully.
If you are asked for your credentials right there to view the content, that is a red flag. None of these services will ask you for that information.
We reached out to Paperless Post about this case, and they told us, we are aware of these phishing campaigns impersonating online invitation platforms, including our brand, and we are actively working to combat them, adding, it is important to clarify that these scams are not the result of any breach in our systems. They recommend that consumers quickly verify whether a Paperless Post invitation is legitimate in 3 ways. If it is real, it will always come from an @paperlesspost.com email address. It will only link to paperlesspost.com or pp.events, and it'll never ask you to log in or download anything to view an invitation. If you are asked to do any of those things, it's a scam. As for Alexis, she learned a hard lesson.
If you receive something from a friend, family member, whoever, hang up and call them.
She says she will never open a link again without first calling to confirm with the sender.
I feel like I always hear about stuff like that with older people, like I'd be on the lookout for my parents to not open things or to not believe certain phone calls and things like that. But this one really got me. It legit looked like a real invitation.
We understand, Alexis, and she has already changed all of her email accounts and passwords, frozen her credit, and is closely monitoring her bank statements to protect herself, since she really doesn't know what other sensitive information may have been exposed.
That is unbelievable. Right when you think you're one step ahead, you're pushed back too.
You didn't invite me to a party recently, did you? I just want to make sure.
I did
you
not.
Can't open anything. Oh, thank you.
I know. We got to be careful. We're going to be calling you. Michael, you're having a party?
Call me. Just likely I'm not having a party, period.
Yeah. There you go. Right on Friday, right before the weekend. Don't open them.
Appreciate it. Thank you.